Next up, we take you to Seattle, Washington, where we have Robert Ott, the manager broker of the Robert Ott Group with RE/MAX on the Lake. And he brought along with him a very special guest today, Sujit Koduru, a volunteer and spokesperson for Green Card Reforms. Gentlemen, welcome to the American Dream.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It's great to see you again.
It's great to see
Thank
you
you, Sarah.
too, and great to have you here as well, Sujit. So, Robert, why did you bring a guest with you today, and why did you bring Sujit?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for asking. Not too long ago, I was approached by a good friend of mine from India. Then he told me about a problem that he was having with obtaining his green card. And after speaking for quite some time, I realized that there's a big injustice going right now. And we need to do something about it. So one of the people I talked to was Sujit, and he has a lot of great information about what's going on right now with green cards and what people can do to help. So here he is.
All right. Well, Sujit, can you share a little bit of your story of who you are and why you came to find your American dream right here in the U.S.?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Robert, for inviting me. I'm born in India and currently works as a senior service engineer at Microsoft on H-1B visa, which is part of the legal immigration. And I lived in the United States for well over 11 years, and I'm still waiting for employment-based green card for over 7 years. Okay. And while my friends from other nations have already got there based on the nation of the birth. So unfortunately, I'm hit with a 7% per country cap, and the current wait time or the predictions for me is to wait for decades, anywhere between 25 to 92 years.
Wow, that sounds like a very long time. What is an employment-based green card? Maybe some people don't really have an idea of what that is. Can you talk about that?
Sure, absolutely. Out of 1 million green cards issued by U.S. every year, there's 8% specifically allocated to employment-based Category 2 and Category 3, and which is what I'm talking about, where the problem currently lies. And that 8% is anywhere, it's around 80,000. And people who come into the country based on skill usually come in on H-1B, which is around 65,000 every year. And those people who decide to take path to permanent residency, those choose to apply green card via employment-based Category 2, 3, depending on where they fit in. And that's specifically what employment-based category, which I'm talking today.
Okay, all right. So how can everybody that might be watching and wants to have a little piece of the American dream, how can they become a citizen of the U.S.? Is it going to be a really difficult process?
Hey, can we go back to something really quick about the numbers that Sujit was talking about? I think it's really important to look at the numbers. So out of a million people that could come here on this visa or get the green card, so how many of those can actually get this H-1B visa turned into a green card?
It all depends, because not everyone. So from India specifically, where the problem lies, 60% of the H-1Bs are usually from India.
Right.
And there's no per country limit on the H-1Bs, rather it is based on the skill. So those 60%, let's say, they choose to become green card holders and eventually US citizens, they are the ones who are going through this path and trying to get their green card via EB2 and EB3 categories,
right,
which is 8%.
Right. So that means that, I think our number was 5,600 green cards from India every single year.
That's right. Because of the 7% per country cap, which equates to 5,600 every year out of that 80,000 goes to India. But the incoming is more than that. And because of this extra limit on top of the existing 8% limit in the green card allocation, it hits those individuals, especially from countries like India and China, into this backlog.
That makes sense. So I hope you don't mind, Sarah. Give me just a minute here. So can you tell me what this has done to your family? I know you have one child. You have a daughter who was actually born in the United States,
That's right.
and you have a son who was born in India.
That's right.
And can you tell me kind of the what's happening to them and what's going to happen to them in the future under the current policies right now?
Right. Absolutely. Why not? Um, I'll start by a story. As a kid, I was told a story, and the moral of the story stuck with me about a dream. Dreams only come true in paradise. And if there's any place on earth where dreams come true, then it is America. And that's what I was told, and I lived with that thought ever since I came to U.S. I wondered how what my life is going to be, and without knowing anything about the immigration pitfalls, if I may, and learn a ton about various leaders who realized their American dream on this land, who are an immigrant. Now, I lived the last 7 years with many sleepless nights, with waiting for a green card, for my employment-based green card, with uncertainty of job and worrying about my dependent kids' future, because when they age out at the age of 21, which means if I don't have a green card, they're impacted, because at the age of 21, they have to stand in line, just like me, and start all over again. Or they have to go back to India, which is an alien nation to my kid, because he came in as an infant, and all he knows is U.S. and his friends and members. And when it comes to my second kid, who's born in U.S., will go through the same pain. Though my kid is a citizen, the moment I lose a job, immediately they're displaced, and the entire family will be divided. And personally, I cannot create jobs or start my own business and create jobs and contribute to the economy or community, and spend my time with amazing friends whom I made here in the last 11 years, who support me, and they're all American friends who support me and my family. And not only that, my wife, who is equally or highly educated, also has work authorization issues because of dependent to me as a principal applicant. So her work is interrupted constantly. And the H4EAD, which was recently 2 years ago, which was introduced, allows my wife to work, but now with the speculations in the media, leaves her with sleepless nights. And immediately she loses opportunity to work and contribute to the economy. And we came in 20s, gave everything, education, time, and energy to this great nation, and we want to give more, being in our 30s, and life has become very difficult.
Well, I'm so sorry. It sounds like a lot of sleepless nights, and completely understandably so. So can you help us? How can everyone help you to reach for your American dream of becoming a citizen of this country?
Yep. In my humble opinion, there's a need for immigration reform, and especially in the employment-based category for high school immigrants. And the removal of per country cap is the most important thing which needs to happen in order to fix the decade-old problem for thousands in this country. And there is a bill already introduced called HR 392, which has 3 out of 4 congressmen support, to fix the Fairness to High School Immigration Act. So if that comes to vote and eventually becomes a law, it's actually going to fix this particular issue for many like me.
Well,
so I think one thing to keep in mind here too is that there's a lot of people, a lot of countries who never fulfill their amount of visas that they could actually fulfill, right?
That is right.
Right. So we're not asking to have a whole bunch more people come to the United States. We're already here, right?
Yep,
You're already
that's
here.
right.
We're just saying, hey, some countries don't have very many people here. Why doesn't that amount of people reallocated?
That's right.
To people who are coming here and working here? If 60% of the H-1B visas are from India,
yep,
but only 7% can get their green card. Those numbers don't equate very well.
Based on the nation of the birth, when the incoming path is based on skill.
Yeah, and it seems strange how that would be that way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm no politician or make any sort of bills or laws, but yes, something doesn't seem to really add up there. Robert Ott, Sujit, Koduru, thank you so much for coming on, for sharing your story and really bringing kind of this issue to light. I'm sure informing many of our viewers on this issue, so thank you both very much.
Yes, thank you so much. And remember, we're going to be posting this to social media, and underneath it, we're going to put a way that you can contact your congressman, contact the Senate, so that way you can let them know that this is a problem and you can help us fix it. We really appreciate your time and efforts. Thank you, Sarah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you. And we'll be right back.